Just south of San Francisco, on the edge of a picture-perfect cliff overlooking the Pacific Ocean, is a restaurant with 3 important ingredients: location, location, location. Stopping by the Moss Beach Distillery for lunch or dinner is a no-brainer for tourists and locals alike. It's known for its excellent food, great beer, magnificent views, and its very own ghost they call the Blue Lady.
There have been doors that have been locked that have opened by themselves. Lamps have swung above the bar and above the hostess station, and people have seen the apparition, heard her voice calling their names. All very playful and all a lot of fun.
It's been said that the Blue Lady likes to play tricks on employees and diners.
I'll get goosebumps and chills walking around the restaurant at different parts of the day.
I have to admit, when I'm here alone at night, like when I come up the stairs after doing my checkout, I kind of get freaked out.
One employee believes that the Blue Lady gave a troublesome diner a much-needed time out.
And there was a guest in here who was having a little problem with the fact that she couldn't get a window seat. And she started getting a little verbally abusive with the hostesses. Next thing we know is this clock is coming off the wall and hitting this lady in the back. That calmed her down really quickly because there was just no explanation for it to fly off.
Is there something about the distillery's past that invites these hauntings? The original restaurant was called Frank's Roadhouse and was built in 1927 by a man named Frank Torres. During the Prohibition era, it was the speakeasy for anyone who felt the need for some illegal booze.
Frank's place was kind of a highlight of the coast, and people would come as far away as supposedly from Hollywood and from well north of San Francisco.
It was also the principal drop-off point for whiskey runners and bootleggers. Legend has it that a piano player working at the restaurant was involved in an illicit affair with a beautiful woman who worked in a nearby hotel. Unfortunately for her, she was also the wife of a heavy-drinking bootlegger with a hot temper. Late one night, the husband showed up at the bar and saw the 2 lovers kissing. The piano player made a hasty retreat when he saw the bootlegger pull out a knife. The beautiful wife was not so lucky.
The next morning, the woman was dead. She was found on the beach, stabbed. Shortly after that, the woman started being seen with the blue dress, with blood and what looked like knife slits on her dress.
Since that time, many claim they've seen and heard the Blue Lady throughout the restaurant. In fact, this ghost has become so popular that patrons come from far and wide to catch a glimpse of her. The restaurant's owner, John Barber, wanted her to show up at every meal.
John came to me and said, you're the ghost expert. Can you make her play with people a little bit more?
Thanks to secret devices hidden throughout the restaurant, the Blue Lady has gone high-tech. Tucked away in the back office is the central computer system that controls all these special ghost effects.
We thought about doing recreations, special effects that would recreate some of the things that people have reported. And so what we've done is we've got several other lamps, other than the one that has been reported moving, actually swinging several times each hour by themselves.
The ladies' room at the distillery is also rigged, but people have reported feeling a ghost there. Jan Mucklestone Fisher is a former marketing consultant for the restaurant.
Anytime I went down to the ladies' room, you just got a really creepy feeling. It was just a sense, a presence of something watching you. And it was just always kind of cold, and you just kind of wanted to get out of there.
Today, that something is a computer-enhanced ghost.
In the ladies' room, it had been reported a number of years ago that women used to see the woman's face in the mirror. So what we have is a separate mirror where the face of a woman does appear in the mirror. And at the same time, people might feel a little cold chill because we have a blast of air coming down at the same thing.
Is the Blue Lady just special effects and clever marketing? Or is there really a ghost? Executive chef and general manager Gregory Fedderson says he has stories to prove the Moss Beach Distillery is haunted. During the dinner rush one night, an employee went to get wine bottles from the stockroom. The door usually opens easily. That night, it wouldn't budge.
I'd like to show you where it happened. Here's the door. It opens just like so. and he couldn't get into it. This is the only way in. There was no way for anybody to stack the wine behind this door and get out of the room. When we finally were able to get in, there was nobody in the room. And what could cause that? A ghost would cause that. It's the only thing that could happen.
There was no other explanation other than something, I believe, supernatural. There was no window, there was no crawl space, there's no opening. There was no explanation.
No one at the restaurant can explain the floating checkbook incident either, but they love to tell the story.
The former owner was down doing the books, and all of a sudden the checkbook starts to rise and starts floating across the office.
Was it a ghost? Or had the former owner spent too much time alone with the books?
She ran the business for 20 years, and, there was no other reports of her being crazy, so I believe it.
Other scenes of ghostly activity in the restaurant rate a 10 on the fear scale, like the time Gregory says a ghost rushed through his body. It all started when he snapped photos of the main dining room.
When I took the picture, I got like a double flash on the camera. The second flash was softer, it wasn't mechanical, but it was instantaneously right after the first flash. And I looked down at the film that was developed, and the first shot that I took had these three white ghostly style images in the shot.
As if the ghost photo wasn't bizarre enough, just afterward, Gregory felt something pass through his body.
All of a sudden, it was just like a breeze going through me. I get this complete body chill, and it just went right through me 3 distinct times. And I immediately started thinking what I had to do to get out of the restaurant. It was interesting, to say the least.
According to waitress Virginia Ham, the Blue Lady is the real deal.
I think she's trying to show herself to me because I always say I don't believe in her. And so, the lights are always, turned off over my head and leave me in the dark. And that's happened like 4 or 5 times.
Virginia's own ghost story occurred in the middle of the day when she was setting up for lunch.
The tables were all set with the silverware and the napkins and the bread plates. And on one table, I noticed a spoon is vibrating really fast. And I thought, oh, well, maybe it's a machine, like, from downstairs, vibrating the floor. But it would be like a few select things on each table. And as I noticed, there were like a few napkins, one here, one there, a spoon over there. It was just very random and weird. And we called a bunch of people around. It was funny. We were watching it for a while. But that was weird because there's no vibration in the floor.
Vibrating spoons, swinging lamps, floating checkbooks. It kind of makes you wonder, why would a ghost haunt the Moss Beach Distillery?
She has been there because she likes the activity, because she likes the people, because she has fond memories, and because she's apparently waiting for her boyfriend to show up and take her away. And my guess is she's just having too much of a good old time at the restaurant herself.
It's not easy to prove the existence of ghosts, but that doesn't stop the Moss Beach Distillery and other tourist spots around San Francisco from advertising their haunting tales. In fact, they welcome their ghosts and the business they bring in with open arms. From